Assalamu alaikum, dear brothers and sisters, and welcome to the 24th clip of this month of Ramadan. In this clip, we're going to discuss a verse of the Quran that speaks about the way that we are supposed to react to different individuals when we are interacting with them. Particularly when you are met with a person who is not showing you so much affection or so much love. In fact, they are treating you sometimes in not the best of ways. And the Quran speaks about how one is supposed to approach an individual like this. So, verse 34 from Surah Fussilat talks about this. And he says, when the human being is dealing with a person who doesn't treat him well, there are a number of ways that he can respond to this person. And he is to sit and think and figure out what is the best way to respond to this person. So the verse says, وَلَا تَسْتَوِ الْحَسَنَةُ وَلَا السَّيِّئَةُ. Good and bad are not the same thing. The way you respond, you can respond in a harsh way, you can respond in a nice way. And the Quran says very beautifully, idfa' billati hiya ahsan. When they treat you in not the best of ways, maybe someone is harsh with you, someone has bad akhlaq against you, the Quran says, idfa' billati hiya ahsan. You're supposed to respond to them in the best of ways. So what is this best of ways? The Quran doesn't tell us how to respond in every situation. The Quran, this is one of those situations where the Quran is asking us to sit down and think and contemplate and figure out what is the type of response that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wants from me. How does Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala want me to respond? And the Quran says the goal here is the following. Idfa' billati hiya ahsan. Respond to him in the best way. Okay, so how can I tell what the best way is? It says the best way is this. This is the ideal result. This is the ideal, conclusion to this situation. Idfa' billati hiya ahsan. فَإِذَا الَّذِي بَيْنَكَ وَبَيْنَهُ عَدَاوَةٌ كَأَنَّهُ وَلِيٌّ حَمِيمٌ. The most ideal situation is that you could respond to this person in such a way that this person who before بَيْنَكَ وَبَيْنَهُ عَدَاوَةٌ, there was animosity between the two of you, كَأَنَّهُ وَلِيٌّ حَمِيمٌ. Can you turn him into one of your best friends? Can you turn him into a dear friend? Now, this isn't always possible, right? Sometimes it's possible, sometimes it's not possible. But the Quran is saying this is the ideal. This is the best case scenario. And when you look into the lives of Ahlul Bayt, you find that they had scenarios and situations like this, where someone would treat them in a wrong way, and somehow, some way, the response that they would receive from Ahlul Bayt was so appropriate that this person would then turn into a friend of the Ahlul Bayt. And this is what the Quran says. And this is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala giving us the principle. He's telling us where we should be looking. What's the goal? The goal is turn this person from an enemy into a friend. And we have to sit down and think, how are we supposed to react in different situations to be able to make this a reality? Again, in some situations it may never be possible, right? But this is where Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is setting the bar. You and I, when we approach the interactions that we have with people, our bar is, as long as, I just don't, yell back at this person. As long as I just don't say as many bad things as they said to me. The Quran is saying the bar is much higher than this. The bar is, can you react in such a way where this person now changes his ways? Now again, like we said, sometimes it's possible, sometimes it's not. But this is where we have to set the bar. And the reality is this takes thoughts and contemplation and a moment of reflection. So if someone says something to me, and I'm just going to react, immediately, I'm never even going to have a time to think and sit and say, okay, well, how do I react and what do I say so that this person understands that I'm not happy with what they said, but at the same time, I don't have a problem with them personally, and so these things take thought and contemplation, and this is what, a lot of faith isn't just praying and fasting and all that. All of that is part of it and it's important. But these are also a big part of it, how you interact with others. Specifically, when they respond to you in a harsh way, how do you take that, absorb that, and then react to them in a way where if the relationship has the potential of turning into a friendship, that you've done your part. Maybe it does, maybe it doesn't, but you never know. and you have to sit and think and say, how am I going to react to this in the best of ways? This verse of the Quran is one of the biggest lessons that we can take from the verses of the Quran. Imagine if we applied this to the relationship we have with our friends, relatives, with our loved ones, how different our situation would be.